Hey there, this is Scott, and today we are going to be making a staff out of PVC pipe for costuming, cosplay, whatever. I've looked online, and this is sort of the best I could come up with in terms of cheapest slash easiest ways to do this. Here's a list of materials you're going to need. You can pick all of it up basically from your local hardware store. So let's get started. Of course, I picked the most overcast, noisy day to do this, but here we go. So obviously, first thing you need to do, grab yourself a length of PVC piping. They come in all sizes, all thicknesses, so grab whatever you think is best. I grabbed this one. It's about an inch in diameter. I think it's going to make the best looking staff. There's going to be a lot of probably sexual innuendos in this video, unintentional and intentional innuendos in this video, so bear with me. And come on. Be adult about this. So here we go. So first thing you need to do, grab your PVC pipe, and you're going to need to sand it. They come all shiny, there's writing all down the side. You're going to need to sand that right off. One thing to mention when doing the sanding is make sure to do it outside, because it's going to kick up a heck of a lot of dust. Go ahead and grab your sandpaper. I'm using 100... I don't know, grit? I don't even know what that is. I'm using 100 sandpaper. Go ahead, wrap it around your shaft, and gently, wrap it around, and hold it firm, and just keep jerking it. Sand it up and down until it goes from shiny to like a matte finish. Try and get all of the lettering off. It's going to take a while, and man, it's going to be a hell of a forearm workout. Alright, so now we're on stage 2. You're going to need to get yourself a heavy file. I got this hardware store. It's pretty cheap. It's like $9. You're going to use this heavy file to put some wooden grooves in the side of the PVC pipe. So like the sandpaper, take your sharp file. Going to go up and down the PVC pipe, creating these grooves in irregular patterns to simulate natural looking wood. Just keep going like this until you're satisfied. Again, watch out, try not to cut yourself. It can create some pretty sharp edges. So keep going until you're satisfied. If your file starts getting clogged, you can get yourself a wire brush and clean it out that way. Okay, so like sandpaper, this creates a heck of a mess, so again, do it outside or do it at a place you can easily clean up. 2 other lessons. One, it smells terrible, so I guess that's normal. And number 2, when using the file, it's best to figure out a position in which you can hold it steady. I found that sitting down and either holding it between my legs, god damn, this is sexual, holding it between my legs, or resting it on top of my shoulder and kind of bracing it that way was the best way to get sort of the leverage I needed and to hold it in place. So once you're satisfied with that, you're going to end up with a staff that's full of these grooves and full of little flecks. So the next step would be to clean it up. You can either use the other side of the file. Most of these heavy files will come with a softer side, so you can use that to tidy it up. Or bust out your trusty sandpaper again and clean it up that way. Alright, so again, after the filing, here's just a little bit of a closer inspection of what it looks like. We have all the grooves, the scratches. It's been sanded up to make it smooth. And now we move on to the final process, which is to paint it. So, for this stage, you're going to need oil-based paint. I decided to get burnt umber because it sounds cool and it looks like wood. So you have to get oil-based. Apparently that works the best for getting into the grooves and giving it that layered wood effect. Fortunately, oil-based paints are pretty expensive, so I started off with a small 2-ounce, and that cost me about $9 at a craft store, so hopefully it works. So what you're going to want to do for this stage is grab yourself a rag, get your paint, open your paint, take it, pour it onto the rag, and then apply. I'm going to try that out, see how it works, and again, hopefully we're not going to have to use too much, because again, this stuff is super expensive. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow, that actually works really well. So I just dabbed on a tiny bit. You can see it's seeping into the grooves. Cool. Wow, that's actually really neat. So you can see it's going into the grooves and giving it a nice wooden effect. So I'm going to keep going, do the whole thing, let it dry, and maybe do another step. Okay, so I'm almost done painting. This is just another piece of PVC pipe, sort of to see where we started from and where we're at so far. Again, I'm really impressed at how well this is. This is actually working out. I'm almost done painting the entire thing. It's really light. I've put on a really light coat to start, and again, I've barely used any of this, and I've managed to coat the whole thing. As you can see, it fills into the grooves really well, and that's sort of where you're going to get the darker tones and where it's going to really start looking more like wood. I'm going to let it dry, and then I think I'm going to put on another coat, because where it's darker is definitely where it stands out a little more. So it's completely up to you. If you want to keep it light, then one coat will be fine. If you want to do kind of a darker wood like this area over here, then apply thicker coats or let it dry and keep going. This is awesome. I honestly can't believe this worked out as well as it did. Huh, who would have thought? And bam, there you have it. That's how you make yourself a basic staff. As you can see by the picture here, I added more to mine at the end. I'll be making a second video on how to do stuff like that on the top to add some more character to it. Obviously, it's a little more complex, which is why I didn't include it in this video. But hopefully, you've learned how to make the basics. Again, if I can do this, you 100% can. This is the first time I ever tried it, and I think it turned out pretty good. So best of luck, and keep on crafting.